Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded August 28th. Well, no, I'm kidding. There's no we. It's just me. It's me. I'm sitting here. This screen is way too big. I'm sorry. If you got to look at this face at that size screen, I'm very sorry. But this is Game Pass News. I'm Nick Metzger. My co-host Sean Abbott is out gallivanting across Scotland somewhere, probably wearing a kilt. I don't know. I'm sure it's fun. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm sure it's great fun. And I'm happy for him. He deserves all the vacay time he can get. So I am steering this ship by myself, and if you're here listening to me, well, God bless you. I really appreciate it. So Sean, what's up, man? All right, well, never mind. I'll tell you what's up with me. It has been a kind of crazy week this week. I mean, just really busy. But I have got some games in. Certainly got some Psychonauts 2 in. Got some 12 minutes in. So yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. And Xbox still has some top stories, some crazy stuff, some cool stuff, some unfortunate stuff, maybe. Yeah, and Gamescom happened. Yeah, all that and more. So let's just jump right in since I'm by myself. You know, there's no one to really banter with. First off, let me just say, top stories in Game Pass news. Sorry, no live show this week. It's just me. I didn't want to do this live by myself. I'm a horrible person, but I did get out. I did definitely want to get you guys kind of what's going on in Xbox and Game Pass, and wrap it all up in a bow for the podcast and for you wonderful YouTube listeners who wants to see an extra large Nick Metzger face. Nobody. So top stories. Bethesda drops new trailers of Starfield, and boy, they look good, and boy, they're supposed to be in engine. So those are all good things. 3 new areas. They look real pretty, which I think we kind of expected. You'd hope they would. Game's still supposed to be on target to drop in November of next year. We'll see if that actually happens. Because we're just gonna jump right in. This is a good segue because I just don't think that developers, publishers, I don't think they get how to manage these release dates. Like, it's just ridiculous. So here goes. Halo Infinite, December 8th that's the day. Got leaked this week by then they leaked it themselves. Xbox leaked it themselves, and then they were like, "Yeah, yep, there it is. So it's happening. That's the date." And but we already knew before the date came out that Halo Infinite is not going to come with the Forge and the co-op mode. They came out and said that they need some more time. Do I care that they need more time to get this done? No. I think that's great. You take all the damn time you need to get this game perfect. Truly mean it. Not upset by it. A little bummed out about it, but not the end of my world. I still have 5,000 million games to play on Game Pass. No problem. My issue here is they released this in a trailer last year that it was coming out holiday of 2020. That's what they said in the Xbox Series S and X showcase. This game was coming out holiday 2020. There ain't no friggin' way that they really thought. There's nobody in the boardroom that said, "Yeah, we're gonna get this out." Nobody thought that. No, there's not one person. Maybe one poor, sad executive that didn't really know what's going on thought that. But nobody really thought this game was coming out holiday 2020. Come on. So I feel like let's just be honest, people. Like, I don't want to get duped anymore by these developers and these publishers who just release these. They're just kind of, I don't know, it's like they puke out a date and they're like, "Bah, maybe holiday 2020." Then they go back and they're like, "Yeah, that's not even close." like the full game isn't going to be out for 6 more months after holiday 2021. There's no way that you cannot have figured out that wasn't right. So I don't like these dates. I don't have a problem if you got to push a date. But I do have a problem when it's very obvious you knew you weren't going to make the date. You just didn't want to go to the Xbox showcase, show Halo Infinite, and be like, "Look at how awesome this is. Oh, and by the way, you can't play this game for a year At least. Like, at least. So, I don't know. I mean, I really do not have a problem that it got pushed, but I do have a problem that developers and publishers, whoever, the combo of the two, they can't figure it out and come up with a better way to give us this information. I'd rather them say, we're working on it. We don't know when it's going to be out, but when it's ready to come out, we'll let you know. That would be great. But instead, they give this meh of like, well, here's the day. Anyways, it's just me, so I'm just talking to myself and you. And thanks for being here again. Really appreciate it. So I just wish they would find a way, and maybe Nintendo does this best in the COVID era right now. I mean, certainly Metroid wasn't a shining example of it. But maybe Nintendo does do it best where they're just like, we ain't gonna tell you crap about this game until we're gonna ship it. And then I'll be like, hey, 3 months out. There you go. We got this. Didn't know it was coming, did you? Now you do. And so you weren't missing it, were you? Nope, wasn't. And so maybe that is the way to do it? Like, I don't know. I really don't. But it's not this way. Like, don't give me a date when you know it's not the date. And if you thought that was the date, then Xbox got bigger problems than what we even think. So anyways, but Halo Infinite, I think, will be an awesome game. I'm not a multiplayer shooter kind of guy. I mean, I don't mind doing it. I don't mind playing some multiplayer shooters with friends. I don't want to play online because everybody's really amazing and I'm really not. And it just makes me feel like crap, you know? I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels. Maybe I am. Anyways. So, yeah. So, but I really can't wait to play through the storyline. If I can get Sean to sit down and play some co-op, I'm talking to you, Sean. That's right. Then we're gonna play some co-op, and maybe we can get the community to play some co-op Halo with us too. That would be great. Anyways, moving off of Halo, I don't know why I threw this in here, but I did because I like food and it has to do with that. The Xbox fridge is still on track for 2021. I'm like going down the news and I'm like, oh, fridge, that's interesting, is it? Probably not. Am I gonna buy the fridge? I would if I probably had the disposable cash to buy a fridge. But if Xbox wants to send me a fridge, I will put it right back here. And I will put whatever they ask me to, quite frankly. But specifically, I'll put tea, probably. I don't like beer. I'm sorry. And I try not to drink soda, but I do. So, yeah, put tea in it. That's lame. That's really lame. But that's what I'd put in it. Moving on. So, buy an Xbox fridge, because you play on a fridge, so have a fridge. I feel like that should be the tagline, and I'll give it to him for free. Moving on, there's a Gamescom stream this week, on Tuesday, if my days aren't mushed together too much, which they probably are, so... there was a lot. 90 minutes of stuff. I'm not gonna lie, that we pretty much already knew. Like some new footage, like, oh, here's a new character, here's a new area, yada yada. Lots of new Forza stuff. We got to see the cover cars for Forza. I don't remember what they are. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, what are they? I go look. I have no idea. If Sean was here, he could name them to you. I probably couldn't even read them if I wanted to. But we did get to see the cover cars for Forza. So if you're into that, have at it. There's a game that's apparently was released or we saw a trailer for, Strayblade. Looks really dang good. That's coming out 2022. I'm interested in seeing some more stuff about this and seeing if it actually makes its 2022 date. Sean says that I'm cynical, which is probably true, but only because it probably is also true. I'm cynical, but there's a reason to be. Also, Forza has everybody's getting a controller. It's just raining Xbox controllers between the design labs, and now you got a Forza controller, and there's a Halo controller, and there's a Halo specific Xbox. I mean, it's just raining branded hardware. That's what it's doing. Like, if it can have a skin, Xbox, and it'll sell, then Xbox is skinning it and selling it. Can't blame them. That's what I'd do too if I could make money that way. So, yeah, that's a thing. If you want a Forza controller, you can have it. If you want a Halo controller, you can have it. If you want a Halo Xbox, by golly jeepers, go out and get it. Um, but there was a lot in the Gamescom, but those were the two things that stuck out to me. Um, like I said, I thought it was a good like refresher of like, hey, remember all this stuff we told you about? Still here, and now we're gonna show you a few snippets that maybe you hadn't seen before. So there you go. Next on our list of top stories, last one. This was actually part of Gamescom as well. They touched on it. Xcloud coming to Xbox consoles this holiday. I think this is a really interesting move. Basically, this means I don't know how far back they're gonna go, but let's say it's on. I don't. Are they gonna have it on Xbox 360? How weird would that be? You could play Halo Infinite on your Xbox 360 via XCloud. Mind-boggling. I mean that's just crazy. And it's part of me that's like, could you imagine if Nintendo's like, hey, here's all our games. We threw them online, and now you can play them on whatever hell system you want. You got a Nest back there? You looked okay. No, I know a Nest cannot connect to the internet. I get that. Okay, you don't tell me. But what was it? Was the GameCube the first one? Did the N64 hook up to the internet? I don't know. We're gonna go with GameCube. Anyways, like you got a GameCube, you can play Super Mario Odyssey. Have at it. Ever. I mean, that's just crazy. Crazy sauce. Now, we all know Nintendo makes money off their hardware, and Xbox doesn't really care about that because they're about the subscription shindig, right? So that's cool, and I see why they're doing it. I think it's great. You're not gonna lose somebody, right? Maybe somebody doesn't have the money for a $500 or $300, depending on what series you have to have, Xbox, but they have $15 that month, and they'll buy Game Pass Ultimate so they get XCloud so that they can play Halo Infinite. Hell yeah, makes sense to me. Good for the gamer. It's good for game company. It's like it's good for the goose. It's good for the gander. It's good for the gamer. It's good for the game company. You know how it is. Works out for everybody, and so it makes sense that they're doing it. But it still is mind-boggling to me. You just think that they're like, "Yep, we're gonna release this on all of our old hardware, and you play it whatever you want. You just do it. You play it." And I love Xbox for that. I think that's fantastic. I do understand, and I think I said this in our last podcast. It plays into their shtick, right? Like it's like, well, I mean, sure, you play it anywhere, you get to do what you want. We also get to make money wherever you play it, so that's cool. And but they found a way to not only cater to their own business needs, but also cater to the customer. And well, that's smart business. That's what it's all about. Um, so those are our top stories. Sean over in Scotland, how are you doing? No? Must have lost connection. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Xbox Spotlight. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Sean's still playing Skyward Sword. I'm pretty sure that's true. In fact, I'm 100% sure he's still playing Skyward Sword. That's what I heard him just tell me from Scotland. But I have been playing some things this week that I have been absolutely loving, quite frankly. Two things. I made it sound like there's a whole shit ton, but there's two. 12 minutes, which this game is gonna take a minute. More than 12, probably. It's gonna take more than 12 probably to even try to describe it. It is a game where you are in a story loop. It's like Groundhog Day in an apartment, okay? And you can't go too deep because it's all story based, and if you start going too deep into it, then you ruin the story, and then you ruin the game, quite frankly. So that's no fun. I believe maybe there's going to be a spoiler cast with me and John from Dads After Dark on their Betwixt this week. Maybe not, but maybe. So anyways, it's a loop game where you enter this apartment, and you're like, "Hey, how are you, honey?" And she goes through the story, and then all of a sudden this guy like bursts in the room, and he's handcuffing her and being like, "You murdered your father," and you're like, "What?" And that happens just like that. And then depending on what you do, if you do the wrong thing, the game resets you back walking into the apartment being like, "Hi, honey." And you have to do different tasks in different ways and try to find different ways to manipulate with items in the apartment to learn about her past, your past, the other guy's past, and solve the mystery so you can break out of the time loop. Um, Let me just say, I thought the game was fascinating, and for a hot second, well, no, and for a good while, I thought it was fun. But the grind of the loops again and again and again. I mean, you really start to feel how Bill Murray felt in how they were portraying Bill Murray to feel in Groundhog Day. And I'm old, so if you have no idea what that is, go look it up. You should watch it. It's a pretty good movie. Um, and so it's like, I get what they're trying to make you feel, and they make you feel it. But also at some point, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I just legit don't. And I know that's the idea. Like, he doesn't want to do it anymore either, but here we are. But he's just a story character, and I'm a real person that's got like 5,000 other games I can choose on Game Pass. So, let's just, I don't know, let's somehow push it along so I'm not doing the same shtick every time. And if you play this game, you're going to say, well, they do somewhat do that. And they do, but not enough, in my opinion. Anyways, that's 12 minutes, story-based, groundhog, repeat the loop until you figure it out kind of game. And it is fascinating, and the story is super well done, and the voiceover is great. And if you think you like those kind of games, then try it out. And if you don't, then don't, because you won't like it. So what else have I been playing this week? Psychonauts 2. So I tried Psychonauts when it was out on Game Pass. It probably still is out on Game Pass. I can't remember. It's not like this is Game Pass news or anything, people. Okay, I mean, really, come on. And I liked the premise of the story. I liked the quirkiness of it, and I liked how they played with you're going into a person's brain and there's this baggage and figments of their imagination, and you got to find the tags to their and put them on the baggage and find and kind of collect the figments of their imagination. And if they're scared of spiders, then there's big spiders in the world, and I think that's awesome. But wow, the game's old, right? It came out in 2005, I believe, Psychonauts, the first one. And it showed its age, and I couldn't get past that. I couldn't play it. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't think the platforming was all that on par. It's 15 years old. I'm at the time, I'm sure it was stellar, and I would have absolutely loved it. At this time, I couldn't get past that. Psychonauts 2. Wow. This game, I have played probably about 4 hours of this game so far. It is beautiful. And the voiceover is superb, and the play style is quite the same, and they do a great job. If you're looking and you're saying, well, I don't want to play one. I don't want to play one. I just want to jump into two. Am I going to be confused? You're not. They have this super quick catch up mode, not like catch up on hot dogs, but they catch you up on the story, and it's you're in it. You got it. It's great. It's fantastic. And so it's oh, I know exactly what happened in the last game. I don't have to go back and play that game. I can just enjoy this one. And they start you off right where the first one left, literally. Smart style. I can't say enough good about it. If you're like me, kind of born and bred in Nintendo and then came to Xbox, you're gonna sit there and smile because it's gonna feel a lot like a Nintendo. I mean, it just does. It's quirky, it's fun, it's fantastic. So definitely give that a shot. If you have Game Pass, even if you're not into even if there's something about it that you're that's not really my style game, I would recommend you try it. And try it for yourself and see what you think. Because man, this game is just fantastic. So we're just flying through this. That's what happens when it's just one person. I can't squirrel us off onto 5 other conversations with Sean. So this is going to be a quick one, that's for sure. So those are the only games that I have currently been playing this week. And I'm sure I will continue to play this. Oh, that's not true. I've been playing Grounded. Hours and hours of Grounded. This castle that's ridiculous. Way too many hours. It's an obsession and maybe an addiction. Never mind. And so yeah, way too many hours into Grounded. Still doing it. It's supposed to be a game preview, but I have far done more than previewed that game. Breaking news though this week, because you don't want to hear me talk about Grounded for the 17,000th time. Breaking news this week, and this one for me was a drop. I didn't know it was coming. Now, I can't always keep my ear to the ground, so maybe I missed something. Um, but Quake dropped on Game Pass News, or not on Game Pass News, but on Game Pass. We didn't have anything to do with it. They didn't even tell us. Ridiculous. Yeah, Quake dropped the old Quake. I believe it might be remastered. I'm not gonna lie, these aren't my style games, but if you like them, well, they're out there. That's about all I can say about it. But it still kind of had that first person. It looked from the screenshots I saw, it looked older. I don't think they did a ton with it. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But that is now out on Game Pass News. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Quake remaster. Yeah, sorry. And it's out on all platforms. It is a remaster. So I did look that up just to check myself, or I wreck myself, or this podcast. And there you go. So that's out. That's the only two games that came out, which kind of makes sense because why? Well, because they released like a bazillion games last week. That's why. And so it makes sense. It's a slower week. They kind of do that sometimes. They don't kind of do that. They do that sometimes. And so I'm not too surprised to see that there's only two games so far this week. The golden ticket for right now, you have two. Well, you'll have like just a day or two left to collect your ukulele and Darksiders 3 if you want to do that. And then in September starts Tom Clancy's The Division, which Sean says is amazing, and The Blob. The Blob. So there you go. The Blob 2. I don't know why I can't read. I put that in my notes, Blob 2, and I don't know, I just can't read. So Blob 2, starting September 1st. So go claim them. Remember, you don't got to download them. You just got to claim them. And you don't even really have to claim them. But if you want to, they're there and they're free. So, who doesn't want to claim free crap? That's what I say. What's on the horizon coming out? Well, what we put on the horizon is just kind of what we know is in the works. I guarantee you that there will be games out that don't. There will be games out next week that we didn't know existed as of right now, or that were going to be put on Game Pass. But right now, the only game, there's two games this month, Aragami 2 and Lemniscate. And I am somewhat interested in Lemniscate. That game has been trailered a few times in Xbox streams, and so I'll keep my eye out for that, which is funny because it falls right around the late month like Psychonauts did, which was the game I was keeping my eye on for August. But Lemniscate is more of a wild card. I pretty much knew Psychonauts was going to be a killer hit. But Lemniscate is a sleeper that I think could be really cool. But we'll have to keep our eyes out on that and see what comes of that. We don't have dates. Stardew Valley Paparazzi, which I'm sure Sean will play that. Seems like a Sean game. Evil Genius 2, The World Domination, and The Artful Escape. So that's on the horizon. What is going to be leaving this, well, I don't know this week, but sometime soon, Blair Witch, Double Kick Heroes, Stranger Things 3, which Sean had conjectured that maybe there's going to be a Stranger Things 4 coming out quickly, or coming out soonly. That's a word. It is. Coming out soon. This is ridiculous. I tell you, thank you for listening. If you're still with me, thank you 3 times over for listening. So yeah, so Stranger Things 3 and NBA 2K21 is leaving. You know why? Probably because NBA 2K22 is out or coming. That's just a guess. So that is what's going. Bye-bye. That's how Zach Erickson used to do it. Cool, dude. Anyways, that's what's going bye-bye on Game Pass News soon. Dashboard confessional. What am I going to be playing? Well, let me tell you, folks. I'm going to be playing Grounded, Psychonauts 2, and that's probably it. That's probably what I'm going to be. I know that's going to be it. I have full plans right now. I'm going to tell you full plans to beat Psychonauts 2, which, unless you want to include 12 minutes, which I guess you could. I rolled credits. That's fair, right? It would be the first game that I actually beat on Game Pass. Which, I beat other games previously, but while playing game or while being a host on Game Pass News, it would be one of the first games I beat. So there you go. So yeah, that is a quick show, but that's what you get when Sean's off doing family vacation in Scotland, which we hope he's having a fantastic time. It sure looked like he was. He's been sending me these beautiful pictures of the not of him, not awkward, not of him, of the landscape of Scotland. Not. Anyways, and so it looks like he's having a great time. He will be back, I think, unless he has so much fun in Scotland he just stays there. But I'm fairly certain he plans to be back next week with me. And we will break down all of your Xbox and your Game Pass news, like we always do. And in the meantime, we'll be streaming. I got a couple of Psychonauts streams up, and I'll probably do a couple more because I just really like that game. I can't help it. I just can't. So, a couple things to mention before we kick off air. We want to remind you, you can follow us and you can chat with us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All you gotta do is search the Game Pass News. One word, you'll find us. Pretty easy. We try to keep it that way because, well, otherwise we couldn't keep track of ourselves. You can also find us on Nintendo Dad Discord. We have channels there where we chat and talk. You can join them by paying to their Patreon. Wow, you know what? Sean does a much better job of this than I do. Patreon.com/NintendoDads, or subscribe to their Twitch somehow, and something fancy happens that Tim does that makes something else happen that makes you get into the Discord. I don't know. But after that, you're gonna have to talk to Tim. That's past my pay grade. So those are the ways you can chat with us. I do want to tell you that starting in September, we are starting our next Game Pass 3 months of Game Pass contest. So you will see a Gleam competition pop up on our Twitter page. And so you will be able to enter via Twitter all the ways that Gleam works. So other than that, that's all I got, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope everything's going great for you. And Sean and I will see you later.